Gonna try something different today. I've never flown the 407, so this will be interesting. Have you tried it, Dave, the helicopter, the 407?
I've got it, but I've flown it about once, probably.
I flew it this afternoon around New York in the rain. That was good fun.
Nice.
That's one of the videos I watched.
I've flown the 145 a lot, and I just thought get a bit more hands on something that hasn't got autopilot.
So.
Was that the 145 the freeware one or the payware one?
145's the payware, the 135 on Flight Sim 2 is the freeware, and I say they're similar, same type of aircraft, but the 145 for me is ultimately a lot better. But if you've not flown, you know, helicopters before,
it's a bit bigger as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit bigger, but the EC, the Eurocopter is pretty much the same. The 135 pretty much the 145, but the difference is the Hyper Group have done a really good job, I think, out of all the helicopters. They've done a really good job on it. So it is a bit more accurate and a bit more life, and there's a few more settings you can play with. But the 135 is absolutely fine for starting to learn to fly.
Would that be a better choice than the 407?
Personally, I don't know if anybody else has flown helicopters, but I've flown quite a few in the sim, and I fly a lot of that sim with the helicopters. I personally think the 135 is probably one of the best helicopters to start with, if you've not there, because it's quite user-friendly. 407 takes a little bit to get used to, in my opinion, and the 145, like I said, there's an arcade mode again, which makes it a lot easier, and there's a few assistance mods now brought out. I think it was on update 11 that was a lot more user-friendly, so you can switch the assistance on if you require to start like that. It just gives you an ease into helicopters, especially if you've not flown a helicopter before. But I definitely recommend the freeware 135. I don't know what Jonathan thinks, but that's what I think.
I don't fly helicopters very often, so I'm massively out of practice with them, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, once it's like with anything, once you've got them trimmed up and you've got the trim sorted, you've got your buttons sorted, you've got no conflicts, which is always the big issue with everything, and you've got a conflict here and a conflict there. Once you've got it all set up, I think the Cobra is I think slightly more easier to fly, so a smaller helicopter. 407 for me is the mid-range helicopter, and it's quite good. I'm trying to think what else I've flown, but my go-to is the 145, just for the sophistication of systems, and you can turn all your adaptives off, so you can make it as real as possible, so all your help as such, all your assistance mods are all off, which I like to fly. Admittedly, on the 407, I've only flown this once, and never with a group, so I've actually got the assistance turned on in the MS menu, because it does twitch a bit on the rudder, even if you trim it up. So I've got the assistance on the 407, but no, I say, I think they all got their advantages, I guess.
Yeah, I love the 145. I tried flying the 222B last week, and I found that the flight dynamics were a little off on that.
That's the one I haven't tried. I'd like to. I've seen it, and I think I'm almost there. The thing is once it's like with everything. And Dave's a prime example. You get a whole catalogue and collection, and spend out a lot of money on different aircrafts and etc. And then you're like, can I really warrant getting another one at another cost? If it has to be something that pulls you, it has to have something different. And I don't know if the 22B, out of all the the videos I've seen on YouTube, I don't know if it's got that something for me to purchase it, if that makes sense.
Hello, pass. Evening all.
Evening all.
Evening, everyone.
Evening. Good morning from down under. Voice check, please.
Coming through fine, Ellis.
Loud and clear, man.
Hi, Ellis.
In my opinion, the Cohen 206 Bell probably got the best flight characteristics. I got all of one. I got 135 and a 145. But I think the 206 is the best. And I've flown that one in real. I got about, I don't know, 700 hours in it. And I think this one's the best one, in my opinion.
No, I haven't tried the 206, so that, I'm sold. If someone's got X amount of hours in it and say it's good characteristics, I'm there, so I know what my next purchase is going to be. It's not going to be the 222.
Yeah,
Hello.
thanks for that.
Hello. Hello.
I think the worst one, when it comes out to real flight characteristics, is the MD500. I got probably about maybe 150 hours in that one, and that one's definitely the worst one.
Yeah, I haven't really got on with that. Like I said, I've only flown that probably 3 or 4 times. So like I say, my go-to is a 145, and we have a lot of 145s fly over where we are, and I know a guy that works for the one of the air ambulances, Devon Air Ambulance, so I know one of the pilots, and they fly 145s now, and the police helicopters in where we live use the 145, so I'm pretty sold on it. But no, I'm going to give that Bell 206 because I do like the Bells. I'm going to give that a try, I think.
Yeah, Cornwall Air Ambulance changed from 135s to 145s.
Yeah, so did NPAS, the police service. National Police Service used to use the 135s, and now most of them have gone 145s. And again, Devon Air Ambulance, they've got 3 now, and they're all 145s. They used to have 35s.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, it's time for the talky bit. Hello, if this is your first time on the Virtual Flight Sunday night flight group flight, welcome. These are quite friendly rambles through the skies for roughly 2 hours. If you're using Discord for the... sorry, that sounded a bit weird. If you're using Discord for voice comms, we do not follow ATC radio procedure on these flights. Discord is used for just friendly chat amongst ourselves, and we do use push to talk on these flights. So no bad language, jokes, politics, religion, etc. if you please. If you get ahead of everybody, just loop round please and rejoin the group, because they are supposed to be group flights and they do sometimes tend to get spread out somewhat. Other than that, enjoy yourself if this is your first time with us. We're a nice friendly bunch, at least I think we are. And that's what the flight's all about, flying in pleasant company.
Thank you, Peter.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Looking around here and judging by all these aeroplanes, I think I brought a knife to a gunfight.
Are you flying, Bart?
A Vilga.
I see this 13.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might not be fast enough.
And Spitfire, and I was worried.
I'll be alright with the Spitfire, I think. I don't know. When I saw 120 knots, I thought this should be alright, but now I don't know so much anymore.
Well, we've got 167 nautical miles tonight.
38 people flying.
I'll give it a go. If first, second leg, I don't keep up.
That's all somebody's fault for giving us a mention on a flight earlier today. Not mention any names, Jonathan.
Hi, it's Cliff. It's my first flight. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Push to talk. Hello.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No panic.
Welcome
Welcome.
to the nut house.
Evening, everyone.
Evening. Yeah, so if anybody's ever wondered that's joined us recently, the reason we enforce push to talk on the voice channels for the group events is we have had experiences in the past where we heard things in the background we really shouldn't have heard. So it's a safeguarding thing, let's put it that way.
I've been on many work calls, like overnight work calls.
The best one was a young kid that shouldn't have been on here, and his mum come in and told him to get and do his homework.
That was quite amusing.
voice to us that now.
That's something else to bear in mind, why that we need to modify our language, because you know children, they're lying little tykes about their age.
We were all there once.
Right, I'm just going to orbit the airfield, waiting for everybody to take off.
I'm going to start taxiing out and take off.
Come and join the queue, Dave. I think we need to start getting in the air to get everybody away promptly.
How
If I
much,
turn... Sorry, go on.
Like a plan to me.
how much do you worry about crashing into each other? Do you actually
We don't.
crash, or do you,
No.
is it just rude?
No, we be orderly.
No.
Apart from that, we can see each other, but if we get close, we just fly through each other.
Yeah, and don't forget to transmit it if you've got it installed.
Oh, good point.
Do you guys see an Airbus on paper?
Yes.
Oh, good.
See lots of Airbuses when you don't have the aircraft the other guys are flying.
My sim's slowed down with so many pilots.
Yeah, we've got about 30 seconds to go before 800 or 2100 hours. So yeah, if you can take off, take off. Our first course is going to be 271 degrees, and that's what, 24 nautical miles to our first touch and go.
Roger that.
What is the airport identifier and a server you guys are on?
We're on the southeast. Sorry, we're on the Southeast Asia server.
And the airport?
And the airport is
Sierra Charlie Golf Zulu.
Copy, thanks.
Test, 1, 2, 1, 2, test.
Yes, we can hear you.
Luid en duidelijk.
Using the Tobii eye.
First stop we have by our list if you want it at 111.30.
Seeing a frozen lake.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
Has anyone got ice and snow? I've got real world on and it's really white here. Has anybody else got
It
that?
is, yeah.
Yes,
I went clear because I had a sneaky practice the other day and I had snow and I couldn't see the first two runways.
I just did a touch and go on the frozen lake.
It is winter down there, isn't it?
Oh, so it's true to life then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yes, on live weather it is.
Quite a headwind, right? 11 knots.
I've got 5. Right at the on the deck.
My sim seems to have stopped recognising my yoke, etc. So I'm going to try restarting my computer and I can catch him.
Oh, no, really?
Mine was down to 1 frame about every 5 seconds. So I'm rebooting.
You sure that's not with all the scenery you've installed, Dave?
I haven't got any turned on, to be honest, because I'm using that linker and it's all turned off.
I'm glad I'm sitting down because I thought you said you haven't got anything turned on.
That's right.
Right, let me make that a note in the diary. Dave said he hasn't got.
Hello guys, this is Michael from the Netherlands.
Hiya.
Hello. Hello there.
Hello, Michael.
Good evening. Just a quick question. Which server are we on?
Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, and multiplayer should be on live players, right?
All players.
All players. Okay, thanks.
Goed lukken.
Jawel.
Oslo.
Ah, very pretty, beautiful area. Very nice selection, Peter.
It's a bit white at the moment.
The ice is breaking up. It's coming into the water now. This is pretty cool.
So Matt, if you look out of your right window, you should see me.
Hello.
Our first touch and go, by the way, is out of place. If you ever go on an Antarctic cruise, this is where you fly into and where the cruise ships pick you up from.
It's definitely on the list.
Hey Matt, have you heard anything from that chap that came to club this last meeting? The one that's just started.
No, I haven't. One of the other guys who's been a few times said she's long term, but he came he went off. He emailed me about his electronics failing every 30 seconds after flight, so I've been in touch with him, but not no one else, no. Oh, apart from Mark, who I tried to set up tonight. He's probably flying with us, but he's not on comms because he's not used to Discord yet.
Oh, right. You'll soon get used to it.
Evening, everybody. It's Tuesday.
Good evening,
Steve. Good evening.
Hello.
How you doing, Steve?
Yes, I'm very good. Well, I joined in. Wasn't unexpected, but I saw Jonathan stream on the tubes as I was flicking by, and I thought, why not?
We're a big happy bunch that insults everyone. We're very democratic in that matter.
And we're trying to break the multiplayer.
I think you broke it tonight.
I don't know. How many have we got so far, do we think? There's quite a lot on the map.
48, Jonathan.
Oh my word.
I've broken my plane already. I'm not even started yet.
How did you get the numbers, from the transmitter or from the actual sim for the number of players?
It's on Discord.
Oh, that's the number of people on Discord then is 48. That's quite a lot for Discord, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's usually at least another half dozen that don't use Discord, that just fly along with us. You can tell because their name doesn't appear in Discord.
Are you streaming this at the
Yes,
moment,
I am.
Jonathan?
Yep. It's going out live.
You've got another bunch looking at us too, then, haven't we?
Yeah.
If I grab my Chromebook and try and put it in front of me, this is half the problem now. Now I'm using this blooming Tobii thing. I can't look sideways across my desk.
You know what you do, Jonathan? You just switch the Tobii off for a second.
I know. I was just
Is there a push to look button?
I've got one of these Chromebooks that I always monitor the stream on, and it's one that folds backwards on itself, so I just fold it underneath the monitor.
Just print out a picture of your own face and hold it in front of the monitor while you do other stuff.
See, now that's a proper hack, that.
Fool it. See if it's AI, see if it's capable.
So SAWH is the airport we're just approaching.
It'll have to be used in mirror.
I had WH, not WO, sorry. I'll go to the other one.
Yeah, there's two here.
Oh yes, it is WH, sorry. I was just looking at the map and misread it.
Okay, cool. I thought I'd downloaded the wrong plan then. I thought, oh god, here we go.
No, we're not going to the medical, not medical.
You can walk from one
It's touch and go.
way to the other here.
It's quite snowy here.
Touch and go or stop.
Touch and go.
You're nearly at the bottom of the world. That's why there's a lot of snow around.
Of course, yeah, snow's heavy, it falls down, doesn't it? It drains. It's all drained downwards to the bottom.
Very good.
We have to avoid penguins.
What's the weather like over there, Alice?
At home here, it's rather pleasant. The days are stretching out. We're on the downhill to summer.
Lovely, I bet it's gorgeous.
It's improving. It is improving. We're in for a good patch. Still a little cool. I mean to say 16 degrees in the middle of winter is not too bad, is it?
Oh, no.
No, you're lucky to get that indoors here.
We've times it's that in summer.
The other big news, any rugby fans out there, look out, here we come. We just dispatched the South Africans 35-20 on Saturday night.
Good on ya.
I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have 47 degrees Celsius today.
Yep.
Oh, my word.
Stinking hot.
I don't think I could hack that.
The rugby score, was that against the All Blacks?
Yep.
Nice.
All back through.
Australians lost against the
Well, all I'm saying is everybody's writing it's off for the World Cup, but have a look at that game. You might change your mind.
I'd rather watch women play football.
That's very.
Football
very
was
good.
unnecessary in that sentence.
It's getting political.
for the football nuts, we've got the in down under here in Aussie and New Zealand, we've got the Women's World Cup about to start.
Yep, British Lions.
Lionesses.
Women's football, Dave.
Yeah. They're better than the men, and they don't bloody argue.
No, they are. I think you're right.
They don't cry as much.
And they're not actors like the men.
Yeah, exactly.
And they certainly don't get paid that much.
Also at the Women's Ashes match today, watching them retain the Ashes.
We've had some nice changes in sport. I just saw the news and Djokovic got beaten.
Yep.
Next course is 260 degrees.
I'm going to loop around to watch people coming in first.
Jonathan, can you be a
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Jonathan, can you just see what aircraft I'm in when you... Oh, you've gone.
Yeah, I saw you in a 407.
Oh, that's brilliant. I was just wondering, because they had that patch in 12 that they should, as long as you've got the aircraft in your community folder, and obviously it's default, it should now represent the same aircraft. So I was wondering whether I was a Airbus A320 or actual 407.
We still have that problem on a flight night with my air, seeing the wrong airplanes.
What is that then? It should, because unless you're not using anything else but Microsoft.
You can help yourself out. Sometimes it works. Go into traffic settings right down the bottom to traffic variety and pop it to ultra. That sometimes works to show up multiplayer planes as they should be.
That's good to know.
Not 100% foolproof, but it works most of the time for me if I have problems.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I thought they sorted the modern matching out, but that's well, that's interesting that on my air that it doesn't do that. Is it maybe livery? Could it be a livery thing?
If it's a different livery, you definitely won't see the same aircraft.
Yeah, it's a lottery, yeah, if you haven't got the right livery.
Alright, I'm 11 miles behind, but I'm catching up.
That's what the slew button's for.
It's okay,
right.
he's in a
rather fly.
So that'll just gun it, it's early in the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, got plenty of time to catch up.
That's 20 seconds in a Tomcat, he's fine.
I'm in a 182.
Oh, the RG, that's a lovely model.
I love it.
Yep, I'm in that today too. I've been flying it a lot lately. It's really cool.
Very nice. Yes, Jonathan, you like that as well, the RG, don't you?
Yeah, I've flown it a few times. I'm in the Blackwing tonight just for a bit of a change.
Yeah, I saw that on the streams. I thought I haven't got that, so I've got that. Got friends. Oh, what's it called? Vertigo.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Vertigo is a pocket rocket, isn't it?
I love the Alouette 3 as well.
Yeah.
I copied Jonathan in the RV14 just because you can see well.
It is, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit hard to slow down, I keep going too fast there when I'm landing. I hit the runway though.
So you have to pull the bits out of the runway afterwards.
So that one wasn't too bad.
There's a couple on the server that I can see tonight, or definitely on the transmitter. There was the forward tri-motor that I almost went in if I wasn't going to do this, and the 515, the DHC 515.
I love that tri-motor, but it is a bit pokey.
Yeah, I'd only flown it a few hours, but yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? You've really got to fly a lot to get it spot on.
I just started the British Isles tour with it. I'm determined to do the whole thing using the tri-motor. It's been fun so far, but pack a lunch.
Ah, yeah.
I've been stunned at how many people have joined the virtual airline, to be honest. I know we kind of intentionally set the bar lower than just about every other virtual airline, but it's been amazing. There's well over 1,000 members now.
Wonderful.
If you guys don't mind me asking, how does this virtual airline work?
You sign up and you get a membership, and there's a small piece of software that's entirely optional called ACARS that tracks your flight. So you go into the airline and you dispatch a flight. So you basically say, I want to do this particular flight, and then you get into an airplane at an airport and you run the ACARS program, and it watches your progress, and at the end of the flight, when you've done, between airport A and airport B, it tells you how well you did. And you get
like me, how bad you were.
But you don't actually have to do that, because obviously Xbox players can't do that. So you can you can file your flight manually. It's called a manual PIREP or pilot report, where you just fill a form in saying what flight you did and how it went. But the idea is, in the airline there are tours you can do. So you can do each leg of a tour and win a badge at the end of it, which is a bit silly, but this basically gives you a whole load of different flights to do all over the world in different classes of aeroplane.
I tell you what, I can't.
Do you get to choose your plane or the?
Yeah, we've slackened it. We've slackened it up a lot. There is some technicalities to it, and I won't go through them now. But there is a rank structure, but you can do free flights as well. So the rank structure is based on the hours that you have recorded, and the certain levels in hours give you access to more bigger aeroplanes.
I see. And you guys have your own sort of an airline type of thing.
Essentially, yeah, it's kind of set up as an airline. It was an off-the-shelf. Yeah, it was an off-the-shelf solution, but we've tried intentionally to make it as open and as accessible as possible, because I think there are too many little Hitlers around running virtual airlines.
No, it's very good, Jonathan.
I'll give that a go.
Yeah, there's a huge guide.
Do you guys play together, or
no, you can do it whenever. You can do. You could organise it. Yeah.
Put an invitation up on Discord and tell people where you're going and when you're going to do it, and I've quite often thought of doing that.
Okay.
I'll tell you one I'll recommend, guys. I've just completed the Norwegian flight. Now, it was very, very good. I really enjoyed that.
Beautiful plumage.
Yeah, it was. It was like this, but at the other end of the world.
It's a great encouragement to fly someplace different instead of jumping into the same old in the same old place.
Yeah.
Yeah, the structure is nice, actually.
If you use ACARS as well, it encourages you to fly a little bit more correctly. So things like having the landing lights on below 10,000 feet, not going above 250 knots below 10,000 feet, all those kind of things. Not speeding on the taxiways.
Hey, Jonathan, can you tweak that? That's a pretty tough call, that taxing.
I know, but we've turned some of the penalties down on the things that we don't agree with. But yeah, you shouldn't really be taxiing at 60 knots, should you?
Is it something like...
You might as well take off.
It was a tailwind.
Is it like Neofly?
A little bit, yeah. All of the virtual airlines are pretty much the same, but we've just removed as many rules as we could. So if you really want to, you can go and sit on a runway without dispatching a flight at all, and just say, right, I'm going from here to here, and fly, and it will record your hours.
And that extra application, did you say it's called ACARS?
ACARS. ACARS.
Okay.
It's kind of a copy of the systems you actually get in the real airliners that record, what the pilots have done.
It rates how good your landing is. And any rules that you broke, like flying over 10,000 feet where your landing lights
Instructions on the website too. Make it easy to install. Instructions there.
Yeah, that's better.
Cool.
It's just, it gives you something to do. If you're sat on the simulator on your own one day and you think, what can I do? Where shall I fly? And it'll give you a ton of ideas.
And they don't need to be airliners, right?
No, it could be anything. There's the various tours are split up into groups. So the first group is for GA planes. Then it goes up to like transport planes, like the Kodiak and things like that. And then up into the business jets, and then onto the big jets.
Nice.
And then onto the transatlantics, where you don't get many people doing that, where you could do like the 10-hour trip from London to San Francisco.
You won't get towed off for flying the wrong plane.
No. Oh, that used to annoy me. I was a member of one of the more famous virtual airlines on the internet for a while, and I had a couple of flights thrown out because I had the wrong livery.
Yeah, and I had the same.
Oh, jeez.
After the second time of flying with the wrong airplane, they threatened to boot me out if I did it again. So I booted myself out.
I've just noticed there's a runway below me in the snow somewhere. Oh my word.
Yes, the trouble I had before.
Always a runway.
Okay, I'm going to loop back round.
It's like a grass strip to me.
I was going to say, if you look at where the trees are, you'll see a shape that is basically the runway.
I'm just coming back round to it.
Very close to the left of
that wide blob.
The runway.
Yeah, just look for the hockey
patch on the white.
Just turn the weather off momentarily, guys, and you'll see it.
I'll follow the stream of labels and hope they're going the right way.
Yeah, don't follow mine.
Well, I've chosen a white blob. I'm going to aim at that.
Jonathan, are you enjoying the Tobii eye tracker?
Yes, it's. I've been surprised. I found it very difficult to begin with, but I think my brain has started to retrain itself a little bit.
Okay, yeah, but I can't get used to it. I tried it with the webcam as a tracker.
Yeah.
But I switched to VR, and that's my way to go now.
Yeah, there is no comparison. VR is much better, but like we were saying earlier, VR has its own problems, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
How did you get on with the eye tracking? Have you turned that off, or you using
I've turned it off
tracking as well? Yeah, I think everyone does, doesn't they?
It's just off-putting because if you glance across the cockpit, the camera starts to pan towards where you're looking.
Yeah, I found it with mine. It went off very shortly.
Yeah.
But isn't there a setting to turn that?
You can favour. There's a sliding scale, so you can favour your head or your eyes, and you can tune it, to the nth degree. But I just turned it completely off because I want to be able to glance around without my view swinging in the direction. Yeah. If that makes sense. But it's up to you. If you can handle it in your head, I can't quite handle it.
I'd had the eye tracking on for a long time and have just turned it off over the last couple of days, and I'm finding it much more stable.
Yeah.
A little bit less sort of swooping everywhere we're not expecting it.
Yeah.
I have a 45-inch screen, so the eye tracking doesn't work well, so I just use the head movement.
It doesn't like it when you're eating. You start chewing on your dinner.
That could be a problem.
I've got a head tracker. I use the Grass Monkey, and I'm more than happy with it. It's great.
Yeah. I would think
a far cheaper option, I can tell you.
I think it works much better the bigger your screen, to be honest, because you can tip your head sideways and you're still looking in the middle of your screen, if that makes sense. It's hard to describe until you actually see it, but it works. The orientation problem works better with a big screen.
Yeah, especially when you have a wide screen.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tweak with the settings. I've not got a huge screen, a little flick of the head to the side, and I can look at right angles along the wings. So that's pretty good.
I've been using Smooth Track quite a bit, but I do a lot of like Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator, but I use it in here as well, and it's pretty good. It's on Android or iPhone, $10, and that just uses your camera on your phone, and it, like I say, it's no. I mean, I used to have VR until it broke, and that was my go-to for everything. I used to fly airliners in VR and everything, and that was amazing. But for kind of a temporary fix until the Reverb 3 comes out, if it comes out, which it doesn't look like it is now, but until I get another VR headset, you know, head tracking for me is great on all the sim games that I use.
It looks promising in the future, not necessarily for HP, but the small headsets, that one that Steve reviewed yesterday, that looks promising.
Which one was that? I missed that one.
Screen Beyond, I think.
Yeah, Big Screen Beyond.
Tiny little thing. It looked good. It looked a bit handmade, but I think they'll get better. But it was tiny and a great field of view, and I know you need bases, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick up a Pimax at the moment, the 5K or the 8K, and they're around about between 6 to 7, 8, depending on the model you get, $100, which, you know, Pimax for me have always been good. Apparently it's quite heavy on the frames though, but I don't know, I haven't had one, but the Pimax seem to be quite good. But then again, my go-to would be the Reverb 2, but yeah, I don't know.
Still using that, yeah. 18 months and still going, nearly 2 years and still going strong on that, on the same headset. That's working fine.
I mean, I've only had one, and that's the Oculus Rift. In 2016 I was on the waiting list, and I finally got it on day one, and it lasted me from 16 all the way to 2020 during COVID, and then my daughter dropped the VR headset, so which I almost sold her on eBay.
Well, there was a massive decision you would have had to make of which boarding school to tell her to.
Well, like I say, I put her on eBay, but no bids, so there you go.
I just switched from a G2 to an Oculus Quest Pro. Optics are a difference.
Headsets have just got to get smaller. They can't go the size of the Crystal. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, I think the gauges for me, I mean, I only had the very first Oculus, so obviously new, you know, back then it was the technology that it had, but the gauges admittedly were quite small, and you had to know roughly, you know, what is going on in the cockpit, because really looking in, you really, you know, it was a bit grainy and all the rest of it. But just for the immersion side, I used to fly, well, Dave will tell you, I used to fly in almost every flight in VR. Didn't matter if it was a 747 to a Halo to whatever. I used to just fly it all the time in VR. I used to love it.
That's great. I think in my case, if the Pico 4 wasn't owned by the people that own TikTok, I think I would consider that as like a backup headset or a replacement, but I just can't do it because of the people that own it.
Yeah, it's had some good reviews though, hasn't it?
I've still got my Reverb, although I bought a G2, I've still got the Reverb. If you want to buy it off me cheap, Matt.
Do you know, I wish you'd never said that, Dave, because I'm really serious. I've been missing it for like, I haven't had one for like 18 months, and I'm literally been holding out for one of, you know, the newer technology as you do.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, I might take you up on that offer. I'll give you a private message.
Yeah, funny enough, I had it in me boot of the car last time we were at club. I just didn't bother getting it out. I thought nobody would be interested.
No, for a temporary until, like I say, I'm holding off to see what HP do, but I mean, the latest announcement in June doesn't look good. So, yeah.
They were out of it.
Huh?
I thought HP was getting out of the business. There's this G2 is it. They're not.
Yeah, that's right. So they about maybe a year ago, they announced the 3, which I was really interested. I thought, well, I'm not going to get a 2 at like whatever price, you know, £700, when if a 3 is going to come out, because 3 obviously have the OLED and all the rest of it and this and that. So I waited, and then, yeah, on June, they look like they've sealed it off. You're right. I think that's it. So then what do you do? Like I say, you got the Pico, you got the Pimax, you got the Crystal. Crystal's for me a bit big, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go with it at the moment.
Levels of seriousness. I think all aside, money aside, I think you're looking at levels of how serious you want your VR to be.
I mean, I don't know if anyone's got. I mean, if I would fly it every day, literally every day, and for a lot of different sims as well. So I don't know which one to go with. I want something with clarity because I'm going to be looking at the dials and that. Otherwise I'll just go and get another Oculus. Like a cheap Oculus that is a one. So I need something that's going to give me what I want, if that makes sense.
I think the Pico 4 will give you a lot better clarity than the Oculus. Although it's quite difficult to drive, apparently. It's not the easiest headset to drive, I've heard.
That might be a worth a shout, but then again, so was the software trying to, the meta now. You used to have a Facebook account, now you don't have to have a Facebook account. So I think they've all had their issues with the background software they use, I think.
Yeah, still you need to have a Meta account. Not a Facebook account, but a Meta account.
Yeah,
they changed it. Because you can buy stuff on the headset, but you just sign up, password, just never use it again. It doesn't have to be your Facebook.
No, you can you just can make a Meta account and it's okay, and then you can use the headset.
Well, that big screen beyond thing, when it does come out, they're looking at about £1,000 plus bases. So it depends what your budget is, I suppose. But
yeah, just bring off the tower.
This Glaciar we're flying along, something else, isn't it? It's fantastic.
Yeah, something like the Armada de Chile or something like that, I think.
Live weather's cracking too, absolutely fantastic.
It's beautiful.
Yes,
I'm looking at a big wall of clouds.
Yeah, looks quite forbidding in front of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, misty wall.
My radar's picking up some stuff.
Godzilla.
Icezilla, probably.
Yeah, Peter, what an awesome pick. The scenery here is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that's why I changed the flight plan, because originally we just sort of broached it, and then I flew up there and I thought, we've got to come up here.
We say this every week.
The world is a fantastic place, isn't it?
The mist and the clouds, really lovely with just the mistiness. It's great.
I think the update in 11, the update 11 did something with the clouds where they weren't so pixelated anymore. And then they did something with 12. I can't remember what they did with 12. Jonathan might know. There was in 11 it was all about the DX12 11 and DX12 crashing, and then 12 then they did something with the behind the scenes, I think. It's not too bad. You can have on heavy thunderstorms, and the FPS it still hits you a bit, but it's not as bad as it used to be, where you could almost never fly in really bad weather.
You've got the multi-layered clouds as well now, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's at its pinnacle. I think it runs the best it's ever done. I mean, it still crashes for me. I've left it in the main menu for an hour. I come back and went to press something, boop, crash. But when the game's running, it seems great.
Yeah.
It's less prone to crashing than FSX ever was. You are out of memory. We are going to shut you down.
Oh, the memory days, especially on the PMDG, or what was the other? What was the Aerosoft?
That's the same, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Dave, you think about turn of the millennium, 2000, and where we've come since there. When I used to, my first sim was 95, I think. Microsoft Flight Sim 95 was the first one, and going into mixed field and stuff like that, and now you do mixed field now in 2020, and it just blows out of the water.
Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
With a force feedback joystick back then. Awesome.
Yeah.
I remember watching Jonathan flying with a wireframe graphics.
Yeah.
And you didn't see an airport at all. Where you eventually saw a white line appear on this green background, and that was your runway.
The flight simulator on the Spectrum.
It was similar to that, yeah.
At the time, that was amazing, wasn't it?
You haven't lived until you try to fly on the Timex Sinclair 2000 with the tape cassette.
Does anybody
yeah, the ZX Spectrum 48K. I mean, it was all tape, right?
Does anybody remember Wings on the Amiga?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And people
And the music, yeah.
and people look at Microsoft Flight Sim today and still say how poor it is. They just don't know they're born, do they?
I mean,
It does make me laugh though when you get, a new aeroplane will come out and somebody will complain that the model of cylinder on the right leg is wrong. Or or the colour of the piping on the passenger seats is all wrong.
I mean, I'm not being funny. It's like the age of it's what you pay for in life, right? So if you pay for PMDG, you're going to get PMDG. If you pay for maybe some other software that I'm not going to mention, then that's what you get. You got to set your expectations, and actually for a game, you think about other industries or other games or other software or Adobe or whatever you might call it. This game deluxe version is retailing at £120 now, right, or something like that. Yeah, that's £120. You could pay that every month for some softwares. Well, Jonathan would know. You can have a license for £120 a month for some software. So for what it is to actually have photographic scenery to run off servers, it's got issues, but for 120 quid for a lifetime, I know obviously now 24, but there are other software that you pay which might be not as good, and you pay for so much per month for a subscription. So I think for me it's pretty good.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the 24 version, if it comes out in 24, will be subscription only.
Yeah, that's not a bad premise. That's not a bad thought.
Because I'm amazed that this version isn't, because they are paying for all of the data we are all sucking off the to get from the servers for this scenery. They're paying for that all the time. This game was done at a massive loss.
Or to acquire Game Pass Gold or something, a Microsoft account that you pay for.
There'll be some sort of subscription involved because they can't keep doing this. This will have caused a massive hole in their balance sheet.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's how it works on Xbox now. I mean, I never paid a cent for the game.
Well, saying that, Jonathan, there's one thing. Hold on 1 second. Anna, watch What You Like on Netflix really quick, because the subscription's going very shortly. Nothingness.
But do you mean that the losses are recent?
The whole time they've been doing it, I think this simulator was a technology demonstrator more than anything.
Amen.
They've been using it
for Azure, right?
Yeah, exactly. They've been using it to figure out how to deal terabytes per minute all over the world.
But you remember, they're wanting to get the Lockheed Martin contract, don't they? So their spin-off, their sister company, they're wanting to compete because obviously all the sims that the military and obviously the main guys use for the civil is Lockheed Martin, right? Because it's basic. Yeah. They don't care about visuals, okay? So Lockheed Martin and all these schools, they don't care about visuals. It's not about visuals, it's about physics, right? So they'll use Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin was bought in and drafted in to do all the airlines and everything, right? So we crave for it. Well, most of us crave for it to look visually good and have some really good physics to go with it. But most schools don't want that. But Microsoft, and their sister company want that contract. They want to then go right. Okay, look, we can inject actually satellite imagery, so you can train on satellite imagery to get as close as possible to it.
They really want the Xbox crowd as well. They know how much. That sells.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, that was a genius idea to spread it across. They had to do that.
They get a cut out of everything that comes out of the store and all those Xbox add-ons. I mean, that's where they're making it.
I mean, how many casual flyers have just bought it and are now flying? I mean, I bought it just to see what it was like on the Xbox, and within 6 weeks, I had a great big PC to run it and a yoke and. I was living under a bridge.
But then again, Asobo makes a lot of money with the DLCs that you can buy from the marketplace.
Oh yeah.
And take that in account with all the millions of users that buy a plane. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's even more than a subscription.
Yeah.
If you're on Xbox, can't you buy a subscription that sort of gives you access to games, which includes this flight sim?
Yes. That's how it works.
Game Pass, and it's £10.
Yeah.
Well, the ultimate is £10, which I don't know what that is in dollars, $13, something like that. So and you get a multitude. So I've got it actually on the Xbox because I wanted to see what it was like. I play a lot of other sims as well, so I pay Microsoft $10.99 a month, and I get a multitude of other games, right? Farming Simulator, all sorts. And I can't actually get because I've got this sim now on the PC, and I've got a relatively decent PC. I can't get to play it on Xbox. I just can't do it anymore. Once you've got a PC and you've got the immersion and you're running, Navigraph, little nav map, your ACARS system, whatever it might be, I just can't get even casually just to do a quick flight. I will always be up the PC now.
I have a question actually. I have a feeling that on F-24 will they tighten up the third-party products so that they have to be sold through the store or be affiliated, because they're not making any money out of all the third-party products, and I'm sure they want to tighten that up.
It's a very good question. But you remember they didn't. When it got released in that August 2020, the SDK really wasn't released that much. No one really knew about the coding behind it. The developers, even though it's still on the ESP platform, they still had to work out quite a lot of the XMLs. They had to work out a lot of things, these developers themselves, because Microsoft pretty much kept it closed. And until a lot of the developers like, well, come on, you're not going to have anything given to the public because we don't know. The whole building of the scenery is completely different. The physics were pretty much, you could port a lot of things over, but there was few bits of coding that still they had to fathom and work out. So they kind of did that in 2020. They kind of did that. They opened it up pretty quick, I think around about the October, November, I think, and started releasing the updates for it. Then you had the SDK and stuff opened up, but they kind of did that to start with. But yeah, like I say, it'll be interesting in 24 whether that's even more closed or not.
Well, do they have to buy a developer kit in order to be able to put produce on the sim?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I really don't know. I don't know any developers or people that have made aircraft.
Well, they said they can still use your third-party add-ons.
Yeah.
They did confirm that. Yeah, for 24.
Yeah, the community
they said
folder will still exist in 2024.
Correct.
Yeah, the data structures aren't changing, but the engine of the simulator is changing.
On a different subject, does everybody have any problems with the flight sim connecting and unconnecting and connecting again?
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
No.
Last week, yes.
I had one. Nice subject then.
Not since the I think it was update. I might be corrected. I think it was update 10 or maybe 9, maybe 10. I think it's 10. Yes, you're 10, right. Yeah. I think it was 10. Before that, yeah, it was like almost every flight. It would intermittently, like, doesn't matter where you are, it would just go off and then come back again, and But what that would do, if it was off for a long time, it would turn off the Bing. What's it called? Photo. Imagery.
Photogrammetry.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Bing maps and photogrammetry.
So it was off for a long time. So you'd have to go back in the settings and change. I haven't had it since update 10.
Oh, just a quick reminder. The next stop is full stop. It's our tea break without a coffee shop.
You actually want to see him cry?
Did you bring
only had it with...
I bought a big thermos. I might have. Anybody want one? I got a spare.
I'm going to say, is there a Starbucks?
I'm just going up the valley to turn around to get the headwind.
Teo, you just actually caused a shadow on my aircraft and scared me.
I keep hearing a jet engine of some sort, like a fighter jet. I don't know if anyone's flying something
like that. There's an F-18 flying around somewhere.
Actually, I'm not going to land straight away. I'm going to watch everybody coming in. I'm going to turn labels on.
Which airport is coffee break?
Next one, David.
New York.
Is that Alpha Zulu? Correct.
Affirmative. There's not a lot of room. I don't know where we're all going to park.
I'm parking next to the bar.
There's a lot of people. There's an awful lot of people trying to land downwind.
I'll try and be good and go around, and I won't be able to see the airport.
Digital running with scissors.
I've never thought of it like that. That's a good one.
I didn't check, and I've just landed the Spitfire absolutely fine downwind.
It's only about 6 knots, but
me too.
But then I slammed my foot.
Plenty of room for the Spitfire.
Then I slammed my foot on the brake too hard and I've nosedived. So.
Have you pronged your propeller?
You got to have a lot of backstick.
I've not only pronged the propeller, I've completely broken the crate.
Jonathan, you know, with this transmitter, is there any way of seeing how many is on the transmitter? I know you can see the servers, and I guess you count how many on the Southeast Asia server, because not many people are going to be on that.
There's no way of knowing on a particular flight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is there any way of... Because I'm looking on a little nav map, and it is like full of red. Well, you know, full of AI. It's brilliant.
You could... If you do the Who's Online page on the internet, that will tell you globally. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's what I've got at the moment.
There's no way of doing it within a circumference of you, if that's what you're after.
Yeah, but it'd just be interesting because my little nav map is full of people. It's brilliant.
Yeah, just a quick check. Are you allowed to smoke on this channel?
So everybody's landing with a tailwind?
No problem. No, I flew a direction.
I'm going to fly left downwind and come in the right way. Don't be lazy.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
That's right, Ellis. You tell them.
Well said, Ellis. So am I.
What's that? You go down the left and turn. Oh, you go down the right and turn left into it.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have to get low enough to see the windsock, and then while you're down there, you might as well.
The little nav map gives you a little arrow at the top of the screen.
Well, that's just for posh people.
Oh, somebody nearly turned over then.
Yeah, I've got
Have you got
a little arrow at the top of the screen?
Yeah, I've got a little nav map, but not in VR.
It's in the F-35, man.
If you got any spare pocket money, fellas, I can highly recommend investing in a second screen.
Yeah, are you allowed to smoke on this channel?
Oh yeah. It's mandatory.
You have to ask your mum and dad.
I would just look out for me and Pat. We're both smoking.
So this is my
Where you come from, Joe, that's smoking.
This is my first flight with you guys. I was curious to where everybody is from. I'm from the U.S., Louisiana.
Netherlands here.
Netherlands here.
I'm from down under New Zealand.
Canada.
UK here.
UK.
Belgium.
Germany.
I'm from Cornwall.
It's a country in itself.
You're part of the UK.
That's
No.
Kernow is the place that's independent, not Cornwall.
Yeah, if you don't know what Cornwall is, Cornwall's a place that we send the prisoners in the UK to.
That's Australia.
Yeah. It's too expensive. No, it's too expensive.
I didn't realise you were on, Patrick.
Yeah, nice to see you,
Get a
Patrick.
word in for hours.
Nice to hear, Patrick.
It's Matt. He came online and he's blocked the airways.
I'm not saying a word.
I almost want to say something about the southern United States being penal colonies, but, you know, whatever.
Don't use that word on here.
Right, I'm going to go and grab a coffee.
I forgot, right?
Yeah, I'm going to make a coffee.
Back in a moment.
Yeah, it's time for oxygen check. Let me see where I have my cigarettes.
Gave it away 15 years ago.
don't think I was so much landing as hovered down and landed in the snow.
Dave, I'm just going downstairs to get my whiskey now.
I don't know how many we've actually got on, but we've got about 32 on Discord, and there's 30 listed in the local server on the flights.
I was trying to do a shortcut just on this leg, just to cut some distance and keep up. And my wheels just touched the top of the peak I was getting over. That was a miracle.
We'll ask them to polish the dents out.
Yeah. And everything iced up.
The obligatory hawk.
Has anybody in this game had pitot tube icing up yet? Because I'm trying to get to that stage and I haven't yet.
Nope, not yet.
I wonder if that's muddled.
It is.
I've had some ice on the cockpit windows in the Spitfire on this flight.
Yeah, I had ice on this flight as well. On windows.
You need to change on your flight sim to permit it. I think there's an assistant option where you can have it turned off so your aircraft...
Yeah, it's on. It's on for me. It's not turned off. But I still don't have pitot tube icing up.
It's somewhere in a similar region to the turbulence stuff. That realistic turbulence you can turn on. I think it's one of those.
Okay, let me look.
In the old sim, it was realism, wasn't it? You just had to look in there.
In failure damage, there's icing effects. That I've got enabled.
I had some nice icing on the
Should be
windows.
it. Mind you, it might have just been bad airmanship that made me fall out of the sky. I assumed it was piso icing.
Oh, yes. Shortly.
The only option I see is icing effect.
So when Joe comes back, we'll open the floor to him to do a bit of a talky bit about some proposals he's got for doing some ATC sessions. It's funny, it struck me earlier while messing around with this Tobii head tracker. I think if I tried to fly and look around sensibly and do ATC, I think I'd fail miserably.
I think that's going to be a no-no.
I think it's just one too many things to worry about.
Yeah.
Have you tried pilot to ATC?
No, but it's just the extra workload, you know, of trying to look at things accurately and fly the aeroplane and refer to charts or whatever and talk sensibly.
It's just like real flying.
Yeah, it's just the extra thing. It would be quite stressful.
Yeah, I'm using pilot to ATC and I extracted Windows 11 voices and then put them in the pilot to ATC app.
Oh,
and
very
it
good.
works great. It is not the robotic sounds that you get from the standard voices from pilot to ATC.
Jonathan, I used to do ATC, as you know, with Jeff and Ian, bless him, and Dave will tell you. And I used to fly sometimes, and You have to be on it, especially, it depends how many pilots, of course. You know, if there's only 6 or 7, it's fine, it's well controlled, but once you go past the double digits and, you know, and it depends what you're doing. If you're doing the whole ATC, it's a lot, mate. And I gave up in the end. I just thought, well, you're either going to be flying or you're going to do ATC. It's one of the two, man. Exactly. And, you know, that night where I was going into the Isles of Scilly, and I literally came off, I just paused myself in the air because I had too many pilots to control to come in and out. So I just made that decision. I did it a few times, and Jeff was like, "Mate, you know, you're trying to fly Airbus, you know, A320, as well as controlling another 12 pilots, also in the equal air, you know." And it just, it's a lot to take on, man.
It's funny you say that.
He was still good at it, though.
Yeah, he was. He was very good.
Thank you.
It's funny you say that, though, about flying the Airbus. I did one of the My Air group flights a few months back, and as a bit of an experiment, I never let on what I was doing. I programmed everything, and from about 50 feet off the ground, I never touched the stick for the rest of the flight.
True. Apart from the transition level, of course.
No, we did so well.
Actually, I think I was putting a hold in at one point, but I just did it all through the MCDU and programmed it, and it did it.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Next time I'm doing ATC, Jonathan, I should be sure to put you in a hold. Just because you did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the funny thing was, after finishing the flight, it was a bit of a letdown because I hadn't actually done anything, and it was like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
You're just managing the flight.
Yeah, normally, as soon as I'm on approach, even if I'm on autopilot, as soon as I get within range of ILS, for example, I'll switch everything off and just fly it in. Because otherwise, you lose the skills.
I know pilot, and then you can go play a game or something. Huh?
I know I pulled Jeff's
That's why his favourite aircraft's a Tiger Moth.
It sure is nice.
Sit in the back of that Cirrus jet and just watch the television. Actually, this full stop was well timed. I took my headset off, and I'm thinking, and the sim was getting a bit crunchy and a bit choppy. And then there's a great big fat cat sat right on the top of the PC, and there's hot air blasting out, blocks all of the vents. It's almost on fire.
Why is there hot air blasting out your cat?
Damn cat! Sorry, I missed that.
So why is there hot air blasting out your cat?
Yeah, all the vents at the top of the main air vent is one at the bottom, at the front, and then the major one at the top that I use to get air in, and he's in and out on the top, and he's blocked the whole lot, the size of him, and his whole of the top of the piece is covered.
Oh, if you take off going west, the view of the sky with the sun coming up as you climb out is amazing.
What time have we got, guys?
What time have you got?
I'm just on live.
Real time, real weather.
Okay, real time.
This sim's amazing. I was out on the edge of the airfield, and I nearly had to go full throttle to climb up over the bank to get up onto the flat part of the strip. Amazing.
Yeah, if you check your live stream now, you can see.
It's like driving a Zamboni.
Yeah, the sunset is nice.
Oh, so you're putting red smoke out, Joe.
Yeah.
Am I? Oh, Joe is here, sorry.
I've got to leave now, I'm afraid, but thanks very much. It's been really good tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
See you later, man.
I wonder if we got our, is she a grandmother or his mother listening in? I bet she's having a right chuckle tonight.
Sadly enough, I'm in the room with the dog sleep, so I've got to go now because he's got to go to bed. So I think I'll be moving everything tomorrow.
Anyway, enjoy the rest of the flight.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Yeah. See ya. Bye bye.
See you later, man.
Bye.
Grandmother's currently on Amazon ordering headsets.
Oh, can I get me one of them? Oh, yes.
Time to change
If you remember, one of our pilots on here mentioned the fact that I think it was his grandmother listened in because she loved listening to the banter.
That's why I made the comment about headsets, because that's been quite a lot of the conversation. Banter.
It's like a good night at the pub. If you can remember what you spoke about the next morning, it wasn't a good night.
Micro Aviation, the microlight company, made Bantams in Tikova near Hamilton. Yeah, they had the Bantam Banter.
All right.
Weekly
So-
magazine. Yeah, it's fun.
Just checking where we are in the world, because I haven't even looked yet. Okay, we're down on the tip of Argentina.
Argentina. Oh.
So, will
You
the
went
sun...
to Chile as well, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, will the sun go down?
Yeah, it's above the Antarctic Circle.
Yeah, it's winter down here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering though, because as we know, once you get right down to near the poles, the sun doesn't behave as we're used to at all.
Oh, no.
That's what I liked about that Norway flight.
Yeah, it doesn't get dark for half the year, does it?
No, it doesn't. I was landing at midnight and the sun was still up.
Just dive into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, the sun is misbehaving here as well.
It's 4 p.m. and it's the sunset.
Well, my controller decided to stop working. That's fun.
Let me ask you a little nav map question.
Of course you can.
Why does the terrain level on little nav map is so far further down in altitude than what the actual mountains in front of me are?
Oh, it's the minimums. So it's the minimum safe altitude over the scenery. So is that what you're talking about, the big numbers?
In each square.
Have you got the numbers switched on? Is that what you're talking about or not?
The little nav map heights are in meters rather than feet. That might be one reason as well.
Ah, yes. But if there's an icon on the far right of the toolbar that shows minimums on the map, and those are including the safe passage over the scenery.
Safe altitude.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a setting that you can change on.
You can, yeah.
I'm chatting away because I'm on this speaker. Yeah, but the minimum says it's about 2,000 feet, and yet this mountain's 5,000 or 4,000 feet high. Very strange.
That's to deliberately lead you into...
It's definitely in feet, I've checked that. Okay.
Right, are we setting off on the next leg yet?
I think we ought to.
These mountains are incredible.
It's an amazing part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, that view as you take off is stunning, isn't it?
No, I did take off. I'll turn around and come back.
It's because the airfield's in the shadows, isn't it? You're soon then in the sun, it's lovely.
It's really amazing to see when you turn the names off. All the landing lights on the ground. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Just did an aileron roll in this Blackwing. It's got some wicked adverse yaw. I think if you did 2 rolls, you'd probably spin it.
I should try a Swiss roll.
Of course, I'm now going to do 2 rolls and give it a bit of forward stick and see if it's going to depart. Oh my word!
Well, I might
Oh no!
be making a high-speed pass.
if it will spin. Let's try it.
Look out, Jonathan, you might have to use the Y key.
Nah, I'll be fine. Famous last words. Well, there's the stall warning. Let's kick it.
Possibly go wrong.
I don't think it's going to spin. Oh, he says. No, there it goes. No, it came out of the spin immediately.
Things you never want to hear your pilot say. I wonder if it'll spin.
It did, but it came out of it immediately. As soon as I put the opposite rudder in.
Have I read somewhere there's a keyboard shortcut for the heading book?
Yes, there is.
Do you know what it is?
I think it's D.
Oh, do you mean to align the gyro compass with the binnacle?
You can turn it left and right, but I can't remember which keys it was.
Oh, that I don't know.
I don't know.
D will align it to align the gyro to
where you are. Yeah.
Magnetic.
Yeah, right.
There's some keyboard shortcuts. I think it's Alt and Home and End that will turn the course if you don't have a control for it in the cockpit.
What course have we got, guys? I've lost the map because I've respawned.
It's about 80 degrees by the look of it. I'm just going to go and look.
Enough.
66, sorry.
Perfect.
66 degrees is the
shoe.
I looked at the diagram without knowing what the magnetic deviation is on this part of the world.
Got small course, nice pattern.
There's a lot of messing around with mixture in this flight.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any British yet.
This is our longest leg as well, at 39 nautical knots, miles.
I might go and put the autopilot on for the first time then.
The man talking about the heading bugs, I like twiddling knobs, so I went skiing and got myself a Bravo Quadrant. I love it. It really increases the immersion.
I can imagine, yeah. I'm basically having an old game joystick and a mouse.
I got the SciTac radio stack as well.
Are you in VR or not?
No, I'm not a VR man, I'm afraid.
Okay. Because in VR that would be a little bit difficult, I think.
Well,
I'll be thinking about getting it, but with VR, you know, you're not gonna find it.
Exactly, and that's why
I'm in VR and I use a radio stack, and I got the Garmin 530, and I'm fine. I got the Warthog throttle and a joystick, and I use everything in the VR just perfect.
You must have very good muscle memory to know where everything is.
Yeah, a couple hours you'll know.
You just gotta stick pieces of Velcro on the right buttons.
So say repetition, the more you do it.
I understand that, but it also negates the realism of actually physically being able to look down and see a throttle quadrant.
You could fly an Airbus, you wouldn't have that problem.
I like flying all the GA stuff though, Dave, you see.
Yeah.
You get the big ones, you get up there, you just dial all the knobs and you could sit there and drink coffee all day. And have to do anything.
I'm going down, I'm going down, going down.
Well, if you go down in flames.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Really lost
It makes a big difference if it's intentional or not.
Wow. That really did just disappear out the sky.
These mountains are getting higher.
Yeah, I've just climbed up. I've just pushed myself up to 6,000 feet.
I'm at 5.
I'm at 5.3, skimming over the top nicely.
Beautiful evening.
You got smoke on, Joe?
Roger.
Sorry, you got smoke on, Roger?
I have.
Looks like runway 28 at Oscar Tango.
Or is he alongside you?
Yeah, I thought it was someone alongside me because it comes and goes.
I'm in the jet now. You can hear me. There's no jets alongside me.
Is it a Honda jet?
No, it's the
I just had a jet fly underneath me. It was an Alpha jet.
I know the Honda jet's one of them. They have that sound bleed problem where you'll hear their cockpit in your cockpit. The Coronado planes did that a while back and they fixed it, but it's back.
Yeah, the little Cessna 152 with all the add-ons on it that was in Flight Sim 2 for a while, that caused the sound in the sim to break if it was even in the community folder.
I think it was the Honda Jet when it first came out. If it went above the speed tape, it would crash to desktop every time it went in the red.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Realistic.
Well,
teach you to stay out the red.
It would be good if you could look outside and see ailerons falling off and stuff, though, wouldn't it?
That's what DCS is for.
Yes. Oh, that's when somebody shoots them off.
Oh, that's right.
I wonder if the upcoming Comanche also has this feature.
Have you flown the DCS with the Tobii yet, Jonathan?
So which one?
The DCS.
Which aircraft, sorry?
I didn't say the aircraft. I just said, have you used the Tobii in it yet?
No, not yet. No, not at all. So yeah, that'll be. I don't want to go near DCS because I'll end up buying the F-15E, and that'll be the end of me.
Is it expensive?
What, the F-15?
Yeah.
It's probably about £70, isn't it? It's a new one, isn't it?
Is that the D model?
No, it's E. It's the Strike Eagle.
Okay, you said E.
But it's, yeah, apparently it's like got full systems fidelity. Everything works. So there's no end of ex-F-15E pilots on YouTube showing you how to do things. They have to be really careful though and not show you too much. They can show you how things work, but not how they would do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It's like Mover, CJ Lemoyne. He stayed away from playing with DCS for a long time because he had to be very sure that if he showed you dogfighting techniques, he didn't show you anything he wasn't allowed to about practices. Yeah. Because it would give the game away.
One of the very first sims was called F-15 Strike Eagle.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember using that on dial-up, trying to fly with people from the UK, trying to fly with people in the States.
Oh my word.
I was using that on LAN parties.
It was a great sim.
Yeah.
Jonathan, have you got the Hawk? Because the Tobii and the Hawk around the mat loop would be pretty good.
That's a good idea.
Jonathan is brilliant.
Hashtag just saying.
I remember when we did the group flight at the Mac Loop. I did it for an hour, doing lap after lap, and in the end, I just had to pack it in because I was completely stressed out. surprising. Flying at sort of 30, 40 feet off the ground for that length of time did your concentration in.
About April time, there's 5 of us, and 2 of them are real well pilots that I fly with sometimes online, and we did the mat loop up to Snowdonia and then up to Ben Nevis, and did a loop round Ben Nevis and landed at Glasgow, and it was amazing to do it in the Hawk.
Brilliant.
I'd have to try that mat loop thing, because
speaking of Hawks, if you have a look at my live stream, there's 3 of us.
Fantastic.
I had a flight in the Hawk for 1 hour. I was exhausted after that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was in a real Hawk.
yeah.
I found when I did the racing sims, because I'm a diabetic, they'd make me go low on sugar, just the concentration if you're doing hot laps.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they're doing it like the mat loop, because your concentration would, again, it uses a lot of sugar, just thinking, concentrating hard. Surprising how much it uses.
I do a lot of racing, and the concentration in it is immense.
Many years ago, when Formula 1 Grand Prix 2 was first released on the PC, I used to play on that a lot, and I knew a couple of cups of coffee were worth about 1/3 of a second.
Oh, that's funny. I should try that.
Yeah, but
Turning off all assistance is also half a second.
You actually held world records, didn't you?
Well, there was a whole gang of us. It was, in the early days, it was, sharing hot laps with each other and trying to outdo one another, and it just got silly in the end.
I'll tell you what, I'm coming over, I don't know these guys' names, but Formula Snow and a couple other guys, they're all in formation. It's pretty cool. I'm above you in a halo, and it's to see you guys do that in Sci-Fi Dad, is it? They're all like in one line. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're in Hawks and I'm in a Spitfire, but yeah, I'm keeping up most of the time.
Did anyone watch the Abbotsford virtual air show yesterday? That was pretty fantastic, actually. There was some snowbirds and so on doing stunts. Amazing that these guys put all this time together to put those stunts together on a virtual environment.
No, not seen that.
Was that Fairford, you said?
No, there was a virtual air show.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Fairford was this weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Farnborough, right?
No, RAF Fairford.
Oh, Fairford, alright.
A lot of it was cancelled and they lost a lot of flying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Weather was dreadful, wasn't it?
Well, it was the winds, actually. There was a bit of VFR, but it was mainly wind.
My first air show was at Fairford. I was in the Air Force for 20 years.
Oh wow!
I started as a helicopter mechanic, and I had to go with the Alouette 3, the Grasshoppers display team.
Yeah.
And one of their first air shows was at Fairford. So they applied to do the display, and on the application form it asked, "What's your minimum height?" So they said 1 feet. It was denied. They didn't know it was a helicopter display team.
Yeah.
I've seen squirrels for ages. Oh, I love the Osprey. I'm in the Osprey now. I love it.
That's one plane I want to get into. I haven't bought it, I haven't touched it, I haven't done. I'd like to get into the Osprey. They have them down in Weymouth, don't they, in Poole, on that base there. And sometimes, if I'm lucky enough to go past, it's
that'll be the Royal Marines, won't it?
Yeah. It's more Weymouth than Poole, but there's a base there that they take out because if you're at sea, you can see them come in and out, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's the Royal Marines commandos are down there.
Yeah, I know. I've got a couple of guys and friends. One's in the RAF and one's in the Remy, and so I know a little bit, but I'm not up to scratch with my military things. I'm more civil than military.
Yeah, it's the Miltech Osprey's lovely. I mean, I'm in VR. I love it in VR.
Yeah, it's very good, isn't it?
It is, and it's actually quite friendly on the frames as well, surprisingly.
I mean, I've not looked at all. Is it halo controls? Is it collective and stuff, or is it more like fixed wing?
Well, bit of both really. No, there's no collective. You've got a throttle. You've got centre between the knees joystick, but you've got nacelles. Obviously, you've got like a tilted thrust like the Harrier on those big props.
Yeah.
Not as difficult as it sounds. It looks after you a reasonable amount. Tricky to master, but not difficult to get going.
Oh, that sounds good.
The trick is rotating the nacelles the right amount.
Yeah, and getting the takeoff sweet is tricky. You know, you get a bit of forward stick, and otherwise it just lifts off. It seems to lift off unrealistically. I don't know if it looks a bit. All of a sudden it just goes bang and it's up, but
bit like the F-35 then.
Yeah, for some reason you're scooting along and then it's just like someone's picked you up on a string. It's I don't know if that's right. I've obviously never been in one, but you can control it. You get a bit of forward stick and keep the nose down, and it'll sort of lift off forward gently. But yeah, it's worth a try. I love it. I think it's a great aircraft.
Jonathan, have you done one of your tutorials in the Osprey? Have you done one yet?
Don't think you've got it yet.
Osprey, I don't think I've got it.
Mill check. I've not seen one, Jonathan.
No, I don't think I've got it.
I
think I've missed an aeroplane.
Oh, you gotta get it.
Where do you get it?
It was on sale. It wasn't just in the sim.
I think it's on sale.
Yeah, there are several packs out there in the store that are on sale right now.
Yeah, mill check. Yeah, it's rather good. I like it. In fact, it's very, very good.
Yeah. You'd have a video up by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Osprey. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if it doesn't ring any bells either.
Yeah, it's the big tilt motor.
Oh yes, the V22. Sorry, I know what you're on about now.
I think
you have already used the proper term, V22, not Osprey.
Sorry, I just didn't. For some reason, I had a blank in my memory there of what the V22. Oh, sorry, what the Osprey was. But yeah, no, I've not got it. I know Hugh had it. That used to be a member. He used to fly with us back when it was first came out. Because I know it got patched quite a lot, didn't it, early on?
It's been done again recently, I think. It's a new patch.
This is getting a bit dark, isn't it?
It did, yeah.
I'm going to wind the time back a little bit. Otherwise, it's a bit boring.
It is a bit dark now.
For people watching, it's getting a bit difficult to see.
Jonathan, I've got a complaint.
What's that?
This is going to be a very expensive evening for me. So far, I've written down the 206 to purchase, the Osprey to purchase. This is my credit card here getting hammered.
That's what flight simming's all about.
Yeah, being in debt.
So on the topic of sales, I don't know if any of you guys heard of a BG R3 from Got Friends.
Yes.
A mental plane, really nice. It's on sale for like $1 or something.
Yeah, I believe that's its technical designation is mental.
Yeah.
It is great, yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Sorry, can I check? Is this a stop and go where I'm coming up here, or is this a full?
It's all touch and goes until the end now.
Okay, Roger. I like how the snow and the now we've got the greenery coming in and the water. You know, when it was just a whiteout, and now we're coming into the contrast. This is a great plan.
So somebody asked on the live stream how many are taking part this evening. As far as we know, there's about 50 odd that are on Discord, but there'll be more than that in the simulator that aren't on Discord. So it's a lot, enough to break the multiplayer.
Microsoft servers are hot at the moment.
Yeah, we're still going.
Don't forget to ask Joe about his ATC options.
Oh yes, Joe, are you there?
No, I'm not.
So I mentioned during the break when you were off making a cup of tea or whatever that you might like to have the floor to talk about your ATC plans and options going forwards.
Yeah, well, we've got options for going backwards as well, the way I'm planning to do it, but essentially, yes, for the ones that want to practice a bit of ATC, we'll run this in parallel with the flight that we're currently running and other Sunday nights. Simply join the ATC channel, so probably tower, which we've already got labelled. And the other thing is, Jonathan, you'll have to remind me the command line option, just so we can make everybody else disappear on the little nav map.
Yeah, so when we do this, we will have a group name. If you're using transmitter, we'll ask people that want to go and do ATC to put a particular group name in the group setting of transmitter, and what that will allow the tower to do is filter the map down to only show people with that group name.
As long as you put definite instructions what to do.
Yes, otherwise if there's like 50 of us, they'll be trying to pick out one person out of a crowd, potentially.
Yeah, and there'd be too much over talking.
Yeah, and the other thing you'll need to do is just make sure that you've got a half sensible transmitter name, and also in your server, your voice server name, so it's something recognisable.
So we've got all sorts of notes on this. If you go to codex.virtualflight.online, we'll prepare some notes on it. We have got some notes from the past in there, but we'll tailor it up so it's exactly what you need.
Okay, will those on Xbox be able to participate, or is that not going to be possible because of the transmitter issue?
Yes, it's still doable, but you'll simply need to report your position, but that's what we would do anyway. So for example, if you were approaching the field, I'd simply get you to report your position, like, base leg or whatever, or downwind.
Just out of interest, what ATC software do you use for that?
It's a very sophisticated program called Little Nav Map.
Only because I used to do ATC a lot for different, virtual airlines and all sorts, and I've used all sorts during that. And do you know, I was thinking that with the MS, software and that, what people are using now, because I've been out of the game for a little bit, because I've used, all sorts, Flight Commander to FS Control to Little Nav Map. I've done ATC on all sorts, and I was just wondering now what people are using.
FatSim still use Euroscope, don't they?
Yeah, I've still got my license. Well, not my license, but I've still got my gear for that if I wanted to go and control on that. But I don't. I just fly on VatSim now. I don't control. I was dabbling with the thought of joining IVAO and going through the ranks and starting ATC on that again, but I never got round to it. It was the Christmas when it was all cold and couldn't get out of the house. So.
Yeah, so there's no criteria that you need to have a certain skill level. Just simply turn up on the tower channel. I think that's the one we'll use, Jonathan.
Yeah, whichever.
So what you're saying is you'll run the tower on these normal group flights?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just modify the flight plan a little bit to give people in a better 1 mile, or maybe it's a 3 mile final, just so they can get oriented with the runway, which just make things a bit easy. But its whole purpose is really just to get people to talk on the mic. And obviously some people are really a bit mic shy, so it's really just to get them to talk a bit.
We've got quite a lot of guidance on the Codex page already. If you go to VirtualFlight.Online, you'll see there's a link to the Codex in there. And we'll make a special page up with everything you'll need to know in advance. But it'll be just an extra option, basically, during the group flights. If you want to go talk to tower, you can just switch voice channels and talk to tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all we'll do, really, especially if you're fairly new and you're not too hot on navigation or using a little nav map, once you're running transmitter, I'll know where you are and which way you're heading, so we'll tell you to turn left or right or whatever else, so you get the field.
I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest hurdle, that a lot of people think, oh, talking to the tower, that means I've got to speak absolutely correctly. No, they're there to help you.
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned idea, isn't it? Helping.
they can actually point you in the right direction.
Exactly.
And part of the issue with a simplistic little nav map is if you follow the line, it doesn't necessarily end up with the runway heading.
Yeah, I found that.
Yeah, so you might be told to go 20 degrees off left or right to line up for that runway.
Or that you have a number to call.
Yes. Yeah, if you get the F-16 alongside you waggling its wings, yeah, goodbye.
Or a hawk.
That means you've got to follow them and land.
Yeah.
Or be blown to pieces.
No, you won't get shot down. You just have a lot of interviews when you land.
A flare is not a hello, right?
And a pair of chains around your ankles.
There was, I saw a very funny quote from a real-world pilot who was walking around on YouTube around an air show, and he was walking past an F-16 that was parked up, and he said, "Yeah, they're beautiful planes, but you never want to see one on the end of your wing."
Actually, I've just been watching that Hijack series on Apple Plus, and I'm quite into it. I'm on episode 4, but I'm quite into it.
Yeah, I'm following it too, but what I don't understand is why he never squawked
755. Yeah, 7500. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Hijack.
Oh, Hijack. Yeah.
And it's got Idris Elba in it. It's okay. It's a bit of tongue-in-cheek. I'm only on episode 4, so anyone watch more than that? I don't know if there is, but
no, episode 5 is not out yet.
Okay, so if so I'm not going to give anything away because it's quite good. There's a few twists in it so far which I quite like, but it's one of these, you know, action. Pretty much you kind of know what's going to happen, but there's a couple of things in there. And actually,
did we all watch Sully again last night?
No, was it on?
I think I've watched it 3 times anyway. So
yeah, it's still good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hijack. I'm waiting for the more episodes because I can't do one a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 4 episodes now.
Yeah, that'll.
Because there's 7 in total. There's 7 in total, but you say number 5 because I'm on Apple Plus and I couldn't get past 4, but that's probably why 5's not released yet, right?
Yeah, I think so. Apparently it's similar to 24, or Jack Bauer. So I'm told. I don't know, I haven't seen it.
I'm currently watching, what's his name, Jack Ryan.
Oh, that is very good.
It is, yeah.
That's with the guy from the US office, is that right?
Oh yeah, John Krasinski, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's been out a while, hasn't it?
It's in series 3 now, I think.
Yeah, it's series 4.
Oh really? I don't know where I am.
I need to hang on because I can't wait for a new series of the boys to come out.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's just crazy, so much fun.
My TV viewing amounts to watching the whole 3 series of The Detectorists.
I started that the weekend, David. It's really gentle but really good. Fantastic. I really like that.
Yeah, it's my other half's favourite show.
I laugh from one end to the other, you know.
Just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I watched at least 7-8 episodes, the whole of series 1 on Saturday.
You bad as me then.
I don't know, it's just really, I don't know, you don't need a massive cast, it's well acted, the script is just brilliant. And it's so gentle but just funny, yeah. No, really well done, I wish I'd watched it earlier.
Yeah, no, because it was written by one of the 2 actors, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
What show is this?
Yeah.
It's called the
Detectorists.
They're metal detectors.
Detectorists.
Yeah, get it right.
Yeah, they correct everybody for calling them metal detectors.
Detectorist is actually a word, is it?
Correct.
It just doesn't sound right.
It's the correct term.
It's the correct term for what they do.
It does not sound right. You're right.
It's the correct term for detecting.
Swinging a detector.
If you want to watch a real good episode, it's the Christmas special edition.
Yeah, but you have to watch the rest to know the characters. You have to start at the start.
You've got to start at the beginning.
Yeah, but that Christmas one was, wow, it was the best show on TV last year.
It's just a gentle comedy, but it doesn't. It's not laugh out loud, in your face.
Subtle, or like perfect actors. Toby Jones on it. It's just brilliant.
And the very last scene of the Christmas episodes just minds.
Yeah, don't say a word.
No, I won't.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I don't think I've got that yet. It's after series 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
The 3 series.
Okay. It's coming up. I'm looking forward to it.
Has anybody seen Punk on Earth?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is funny.
I have never seen anything funnier than this.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
Just the occasional trip. Brilliant.
I've just realised I've got 2 spare buttons on my joystick and they're going to become flaps because I keep looking down to find my flaps when I'm doing the touch and goes and I skid off the runway.
Right, I'm off to follow Joe to get on the ILS.
109.5, gentlemen.
I don't have such luxuries.
Is this the last one?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't download them.
We all have to say goodbye till next week. Or you can turn up tomorrow morning if you like. What are we going around London at night or something, Jonathan?
I think is it Peter's flight tomorrow? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, we're in the Caribbean tomorrow.
Oh,
Is it Saba?
That's right, yes. On its 977-foot runway, doing a touch and go there, then to St. Bart's.
Oh, so I've got to bring a 747.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
The island Saba.
No, I'll bring the I'll bring the trusty 208.
Or number 8 wire.
Did a flyby there.
787 and watch the wings flex. How about that one?
Yes, it's next week or Monday, 1 week's time, when we do a round London at night.
Sounds good.
That'll be fun.
6.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All the pretty lights. We could do one over in New York too. That'd be good.
Yeah. And Dubai. Dubai is also pretty good at night.
Maybe watch some fireworks on the way.
Yeah, I saw them over Paris last night. On Friday night. It's quite good.
Oh, live view is very nice at the moment, chaps, in the live weather.
I was going to say, I've not turned off live weather and it is looking orange. It's good.
Yeah, I turned back the time a little bit.
We'll just be doing a high-speed pass for a change.
It's going to be a lovely ILS landing approach at dusk. Beautiful.
Yeah, just passing 520 knots on the ILS. Glide slope seems a bit quick.
The Challenger 1, could you expedite?
Absolutely not. It's 550 knots.
The cockpit lights on the Vilga are quite interesting. It's got ultraviolet lights.
It has. It's very cool, isn't it?
And it's so cool. So everything that's white just starts glowing. So
Yep.
clever.
It's like the scrapyard monster.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's got neon light as well.
I don't have that one.
I've forgotten that I bought that. I've flown it once.
You've got in the Wilga also smoke.
Yes. So if I were to put on smog, would that be visible to everybody or just me?
Only anybody who has that aircraft.
yeah, like on the GB racer, it's got different color smoke, and what they do is they use the flap position, which gets transmitted over multiplayer. So if you have the game, and the game tells the plane that it's drawing for you that, hey, he's got flaps 1, then it'll draw red smoke or something. So they use a variable that's actually transmitted on multiplayer so everyone can see it. Pretty good idea, actually.
That's good.
Yeah, it is.
Finally, I see a bridge.
I'm getting absolutely battered around in this helicopter. What are the winds doing here?
26 knots.
Wow.
It's gusty, it's dropped to 18.
Oh, live weather is wind is 246, 25 knots.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. I'm literally getting buffered on the nose. The only time tonight I wish I wasn't in a helicopter.
Oh, helicopters are fun, man.
Yeah, but with this is really buffeting. It's like almost more than, it's more like 30, 40. It's really, I don't know if something's happened.
Yeah, I'm quite stable on the approach. I'm on a single engine.
One of the guys in here is called Bob Loblaw. What program is that from? I can't remember.
Boblo.
Bob Loblaw.
Oh, it's Crinkly Bottom, isn't it?
Yes, I remember.
Noel's House Party.
Bob Loblaw.
Bob Loblaw. Or the Flower Pot Men.
Wooden tops.
No, there was a program with somebody, a character called Bob Loblaw.
Oh, okay.
It's a very funny sketch or a series of someone character called themselves that.
I'm going far too fast.
When I was a loadmaster in the transport helicopters in the Air Force, we did parabolic flights, and we had 16 Army troops in the back, and I was sitting with them in the back, and I was weightless for 8 seconds.
Wow!
And those guys were sick because they were strapped in. Oh, and I was weightless. That was so much fun.
Not so much fun for the cleaner.
Yeah, there's something to be said for going over the top of the curve in a Chinook.
And on the islets.
So is this the final airport?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I believe it is.
So I've just discovered the Blackwing has no nav radios, which is really useful for an instrument approach.
I'm surprised about that.
Yeah, I've just been looking around, and no, there's no nav radios. It's only got comm radios.
What's interesting is turning your weather onto heavy rain, and then doing an instrument approach.
It's always interesting to see an Airbus acting like a helicopter. You don't have model matching. Hello, Spitfire.
Landing backwards.
Sky on live weather.
Well, I'm just making the sky a bit more blue.
Nice of you.
Don't mention.
Oh, there's an Airbus doing barrel rolls.
Rio Grande Tower, Sweeper 007, locked on ILS for runway 26.
Denied.
Are we bothered?
Should
Go around.
Not a lot.
Here go Charlie Mike's on final. Lots of lights in front of me, beacons and...
Yeah.
I've had to turn the name tags off, otherwise I wouldn't see the strip.
Yeah, I do the same.
That massive 8-engine transporter just appeared above.
5 headwinds.
I can't see the runway now. There's a great big 8-engine transporter in front.
It's pretty cool to be sitting on the ground and watching all these planes come in.
I'm dead stick. Got no fuel.
Didn't you fill up at halfway?
I've just run out. Oh.
Let's see if I can do this.
That's better. I'm all right now. Just filled up.
Walked out on the wing with a jerry can.
And a funnel. Stop it blowing away.
Keep your friends close and your KC-135 handy.
Sorry, I'm going through people on approach here.
Yes, there's a lot of traffic on the runway.
Got to land. Can't go around.
Did Hercules performing a go around here? Very nice.
Tell you what, the photographic scenery in this town is brilliant for where we are in the world.
Got jumped on by another 182. Thank you very much.
Well, if it was me, Alice, I did apologise in advance.
I just think I saw a spruce goose lunch itself.
Lunch? Yes, I saw that too.
I saw it penetrating a building here.
The size of that aircraft, it was probably eating the
yeah, that was in front of me. I couldn't see the runway at the last part of the landing, so I just followed it.
That's funny to see an Airbus hovering in front of me.
Yeah. I just saw that too.
A bit mad.
I saw that as a CJ.
It's not myself. I'm still just approaching in from the south.
Looks good. That was a rather interesting landing, whether that was in the F-35 just come down. Proper wheels, tail down, not proper, but a nice tail down landing.
That is funny, isn't it, when the Airbuses start hovering?
You up the right way, Lyndon?
Yeah, I just noticed I blacked out. That we respawned the last airport.
What looks incredible is this VTOL bonanza enlightening my entire cockpit with beautiful warm light. Incredible.
Oh, there is an Airbus hovering.
I think I just parked right alongside you, Peter.
What behind?
I see at least 3 Airbuses. Yeah, 1 hovering.
And a hovering Baron.
It seems an odd plane to choose as a default.
Yeah, crazy.
It's normally moody, isn't it? Default.
As I'm approaching the airport, I don't know if all the lights say are landing lights or are they airplanes.
Just follow the trail of airplanes.
But that would be nice if you could buy the base model so you could just see it, you know.
So to answer the Bob Loblaw question, it was Arrested Development.
Ah, got it. Yes.
Because Bob himself has just said that.
Yeah. That's it, I remember now. Bob, yeah, it's a pseudonym. Bob Loblaw.
Yeah.
Loblaw, yeah. Shining the lights.
Right, I'm going to stop the live stream. I think we're all in, aren't we? Oh no, there's a few still coming in.
No, there's about half a dozen.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the drone camera then. 5.
Well,
I don't know where Matt's got to, but I'm one of the last coming in.
I'm here. I'm just hovering on the old apron. I'm just trying to park.
Oh, right.
Well, thanks all. It was great fun.
I'm going to head up home and do my morning flight from NZAA to NZWT, and I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, right.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Okay,
see you soon,
my friend. Okay, thanks for the nice flight.
Thank you very much for the flight. It was great as always.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to be back again.
Yep, it's really nice. Thanks.
Thank you. All the next time, guys.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Thanks very much, Peter. That was great tonight again. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thank you all, Peter.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Great flight.
Yep, see you soon.